we like to end on the city ratings. So I don't know if this is going to be challenging for you due to your role. So it'll be fun, and it's not a fix. So we do the city ratings. I think with everything we've talked about, we have to do walkability, public transit, and cycling. And the ratings are not scientific scores. It's something you can share with friends. Friday, after evening, or with your family while you're eating dinner, and just talk about like I rated the city this way. How would you rate it? And scores can change over time too. I think this is just a really interesting way to kind of get a picture of what people think of the walkability in their city. So 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest. So starting with walkability, how would you rate Krakow?
Maybe too optimistic, but I will give 7. I mean, it's when I compare even with many cities, doesn't matter in Poland or whenever around the globe. In my opinion, we are really strong about walkability. Of course, it's not perfect, but especially when you compare with other cities, it's really, really better. And what we have done, it's like just as a remark, I didn't even expect it that turning out all the traffic signals in the city center, that you don't need to wait 2 minutes to wait for the green light in the city center. It's something really, really great. I mean, that's we try to make better sidewalks, no parking on sidewalks, minimum wide of the street. So yeah, 7 would be what I score.
Yeah, I like that score because it also shows room to improve, but that it's got a really good foundation. Okay, what about public transit?
Maybe 1 less, 6. When it's different when you compare trips to the inner city area, like when you have access to the tram, but it's really different if it's just a bus and you live in the outskirts and you need to travel not to the city center. So when you make here would be like to the city center, I would give even 8. But when you got the outside area, it's like 5 or 4. So in the middle, it's like 6.
Yeah, that's great. I live in the outskirts, and I can reflect on that when I go to the city. Yeah, the time between the outskirts and getting to the city can be rough, but once you're in the city, it's like zip zip. So that's great that you averaged it out too. Okay, and then ending off on cycling.
Oh, here, yeah, it's still well 4 or 5, but it would be optimistic because it's the less. I mean, so maybe 4 to be more proof. Yeah, it's just that we are missing a basic cycling network. So without this, we cannot say we are a cycle city or we are cycle friendly. It's even that we made a lot of efforts and implement this infrastructure right now. But if you want to be truthfully speaking and to be fair, more is in front of us than behind us. So 4 would be.
To know on that, what I'm hearing too, though, is that some cities that are very noteworthy for cycling aren't necessarily noteworthy for pedestrian network. So I think this is interesting to look at Krakow's current strengths, which is really, really great pedestrian infrastructure and connectivity, and it seems to only be getting better. So let's end on that question. What do you think are the strengths in the city in terms of the pedestrian infrastructure and connectivity? It's already pretty strong. You rated it a 7. What needs to be done for it to improve?
We need to make changes in local districts where cars are occupying every free space, green space, and so on. City center is in the scope of that really much better. We got sidewalks are really, it's just few examples you would find where cars are occupying parking on the sidewalks. We got all Old Town, it's a pedestrian area with priority to pedestrians, no traffic lights and so on. So my opinion is really, really good. But when you go outside, I mean, not the city outside, but local districts, some housing areas, which are many times in these are small communes where streets are not owned by the city. Then it's sometimes a disaster. I mean, the cars are leaving like 30 centimeters to walk, or even no centimeters. You need to go on a street, unsafe pedestrian crossings, and yeah, it's not a walkable part of the city, and we need to also to change it. But the problem is that people own the cars and they want to park it, and it's not the public space many times. So you need to collaborate somehow because it's city cannot say what you have on a private property.
Okay,
But
sometimes the sidewalk is sometimes private property.
Yeah,
Okay.
sidewalk, and also streets are owned by the communes, so it's a private streets actually. But you know, from the point of view of inhabitants, it's the road to work. Yes, so doesn't matter if it's owned by the city or not. It's not walkable.
Right. Right. Well, this was really interesting. Thank you very much, and I look forward to talking with you again about. You brought up so many interesting issues, and I really like your vision and everything that your agency is doing. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for your invitation, for a very nice talk, and hope to see you soon.
Yes, you will. Thank you.
Thank you.